Boris Johnson's government should feel unsafe with its current EU arrangements as so far, the bloc's negotiating tactics have proven to show a lack of goodwill, the former director of special projects at Vote Leave has claimed. The European Commission has launched legal action against the UK, after MPs passed the Internal Market Bill, which overrides parts of the withdrawal agreement. The EU had set Britain an end-of-month deadline to withdraw the clauses in the bill, which it said broke international law. The Commission said it would not be shy in taking legal remedies unless the UK backed down over the provisions on state aid and export declarations on goods from mainland Britain to Northern Ireland. Downing Street refused the same day, and the bill was passed earlier this month by 340 votes to 256. President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen said, "We had invited our British friends to remove the problematic parts of their draft internal market bill by the end of September." This draft bill is by its very nature a breach of the obligation of good faith laid down in the withdrawal agreement. Moreover, if adopted as is, it will be in full contradiction to the Protocol on Ireland and Northern Ireland. The deadline lapsed on Wednesday. The problematic provisions have not been removed. Therefore, on Thursday morning, the Commission has decided to send a letter of formal notice to the UK government. This is the first step in an infringement procedure. Meanwhile, the talks on the future trade relationship continue, but with little progress in sight. As tensions are set to rise in the coming days and the clock ticks down, Lee Rotherham, the former director of special projects at Vote Leave, explored the rationale behind why the UK government might genuinely feel unsafe in the arrangements as they stood. He wrote, "So, as we approach an eschatological moment in the Brexit talks, now seems an appropriate moment to consider the declared objectives of the EU negotiators that might generate legitimate concerns. Of course, there is the backdrop, the dire track record of the EU itself, from stitching up John Major over his social chapter opt-out and then David Cameron over his Eurozone bailout opt-out. Then there is the methodology itself, from Michel Barnier demanding the backstop be locked in first before discussing anything else, the sequencing blackmail scandal, a stance which risked an instant hard border, to the first draft text listing transition ending at some point before the end of the year 20XX. But let's instead simply focus on the cornerstone of the EU's negotiating mandate, specifically what Team Barnier were instructed to get out of the negotiations and how they set about the mission.